So if you've ever been to a car dealership and you just felt like you were being held captive and you couldn't really escape the way you wanted to, well, that feeling that you're having is probably not imagined. It's probably real to some degree, because in that business, we are taught different pressure tactics of how to keep someone there on the lot. And today, I'm going to teach you what it is that we do so that you can avoid that and you won't feel stuck. You won't feel like you're captive, you can't leave. So let's dive right into it. My name is Cedric, the car guy. I've been in the car business for over 25 years. I've sold thousands of units. I've sold new, I've sold used, I've sold Toyota, I've sold Honda, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Hyundai, Nissan, Kia. I mean, you name it, I've pretty much sold it, with the exception of some of the luxury brands. So I have a lot of experience selling vehicles. I've talked to tens of thousands of customers. Well, you're probably thinking that, maybe this video doesn't really apply to you, because when you go to the dealership, you already have in mind what it is you're there to do. And most customers, they're thinking exactly the same way you do. They come in, they have a couple things on their agenda. That's look at the car, talk to the salesperson about, the models, the trims, the features, what's available, get pricing on the vehicle, get the vehicle out on a test drive. And then usually when I say get pricing on the vehicle, they want to get the absolute best price, the rock bottom, what are you going to sell me this vehicle for? And then finally, that last objective is to get the hell out of the dealership and then go home, think about it, make a decision on what car they want to buy from where on their own terms. But the dealership, we have a totally different way of thinking about this, because it is our time when you come into the dealership to look at a vehicle. So we've been trained, we've been taught, and to be honest with you, you do this every 3 to 5 years. We do this multiple times per day. So we do have a strategy that we use to try to further along the buying process. So here's the main problem. When you come into the dealership, you enter either, just outside on the lot, or you walk into the showroom floor. All the cars are beautiful, they're nice, it's a car dealership. You know what it's like there. But the thing is, it's not just a showroom, it's actually a system. We are trying to make it to where you spend more time there, because once you have that sunken cost fallacy of spending more time there, more time there, more time there, it makes it harder and harder and harder for you to leave. And that's one thing that we understand. The longer we can get you to spend at the dealership with us, the more in the back of your head, you're thinking, do I really want to go do this someplace else all over again? I've already been here an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. So that is our main goal, is to get you to try to stay a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Now, dealerships have a 3-profit structure, and the sales department is the first profit center in those structures. The sales department is usually ran by the sales manager, and their process and procedure is in place. And usually the process looks like this. Like I said, you go out, you greet the customer, you build some rapport, you get to know them. Oh, you're a Raiders fan, that's great. Hopefully you guys have a good season this year or whatever. After you do a little bit of a meet and greet, what kind of car are you here to look at? I want to go see a Honda Civic. Okay, great. Let's go over here. We're going to take a look at this Honda Civic. Which grade, which package were you looking at? I'm looking at this package. We pull that car out, start giving you all the features and the benefits based on what you said is important to you. And then from there, we try to move you to a test drive, get you behind the wheel, get you a little bit emotionally connected to the car that you're gonna buy. That's why we pulled it out. And then from there, we have you bring it back, park it right here in a sold area. This is where all the sold cars go. We're constantly trying to move the needle forward to get you to buy something right now. So that's the structure and the process and procedure of how we're doing our thing. Now, the next part of the process is we're going to get you from the test drive to either go inside to look at numbers, or at that moment, you might be feeling really inside the crux of, the uh, being feel, feeling like you're being captive at the dealership. So usually people either say, let me get your card. I want to come back, think this over, talk about it, sleep on it, whatever. Or they may want to go inside and get numbers on the vehicle. Either way, the car dealership world works in what's called a TO system, meaning if you're getting some pushback to where the customer does want to leave and doesn't want to go forward, they can get another salesperson or they can get a floor manager to come in and assist to see if they can get someone to help move that sale forward. That's why you feel captive, especially if you go inside. They're going to figure out a way to really get someone else involved because now you're inside. It's a little harder when you're still outside because they have to go get someone, find the right person, and have them talk to you. They can go grab anyone, but ideally, what they want to do is they want to look at your personality type and try to find someone that would be best to work with you to move you forward because you guys kind of have the same personality type. Now, whether you're already sitting inside or you're still outside, this is what I like to think of as you better act fast, meaning we're going to cover with you the incentives, the rebates, the cashback offers, any available tax credits. And depending on the time of month that you're there, maybe you might be there at the beginning of the month, but the holiday weekend was still on. So this particular incentive may expire tomorrow or tonight or in 2 days or 3 days. So you're going to feel that effect again of being feeling like you're being held captive because now that is playing in the back of your mind. Well, if I take my time to make this decision, I can lose some serious, money that's I'm entitled to based on the incentives that are on this vehicle. So that's another thing that we as salespeople, we want to put out there like, hey, that it might not even be in a pressure way. It just may be like, hey, I understand you're not here to do anything today, but we have this, and this available for you to move forward now. So that's another layer of this system that we're using to help push people forward. Now, if you're already inside and you're working numbers, you may have it to be where if we gave you, $3,500 for your trade-in, we may now push it to $4,200, and the car might not be worth that. It may be, who knows? But the point is that the dealership can use that as leverage. Like, look, we're trying to sell your car right now. We want to make a deal right now. We're in a right now business. So what we're going to do is instead of offering you the $3,500 your car's worth, we're going to give you $4,200, but I need you to do it right now. I'm going to sell the car for way less than what I quoted you earlier, but I need you to do it right now. I can get to this payment, but I can get even lower in the payment if you do it right now. Some way, shape, or form, some numbers are going to be moved around to where if you take advantage of doing it right now, they're going to give you a better X, Y, and Z. And that might work for you as the customer, but you will still feel captive if you're not ready to do this right now. Now, at no point in time should anyone ever physically block the exits and, stop you from trying to leave. Now, I've had customers when I first started in the car business that told me that, hey, the reason why I don't want to give you the keys to my vehicle to go appraise it is I've had a bad experience with you guys keeping the keys. And what I was referring to was a salesman that took his keys like back in the 80s, and they got to like maybe an agreement on a deal, and the customer was backing out. They were just like, I want to think it over. I want to hang on. I'm not ready to do this right now. So the salesman got upset and said, you know what? Took his keys, threw them on the roof and said, now you can't leave. Now you have to buy my car. So I understand it from that perspective that the customer now has a bad taste about trusting us with his property with his keys. But one thing that I did learn from that situation is I always made sure that after that point, If I got someone's keys, driver's license, registration, title, whatever it was, I appraised the car quickly. And even if the managers were trying to hold the keys, I always demanded, no, give me the keys back. We're not going to hold them here like that, because I want my customer to know that at any moment in time you want to get up and get out of there, you can. I want to use my, gift of persuasion and making them the deal that they want to make the reason why they want to stay and buy the car, not because I'm holding them or making them feel hostage or I don't know where their keys are. I didn't want to play those type of games. And if someone's playing that type of game with you, get up and get out of there. What's the grand solution to this problem when you go to a dealership? Well, number one, before you get to the dealership, you want to close the information gap. You want to find out everything you possibly can about the vehicle model, the trims, the packages, all the different options available. Speaking of available, you want to know how many of these cars, especially the way you're looking for it equipped, are out there on the market. Look at other dealerships online, spec them out, and see how many are out there. You want to try to get, a snapshot of every piece of data you can before you walk in. You can go to Google and you can look up sold data through Edmunds.com, and try to see what these cars are going for in the market. You also want to look at what incentives are available and go to the manufacturer's website, cashback offers, rebates, special interest rates. All those different things will help you have a stronger time negotiating the deal, but not just negotiating the deal, but feeling confident when you're in the dealership and making a decision if you want to move forward with getting that car right then and there, or if you're still getting all your ducks in a row before you plan to make your purchase. You want to look at what your trade is being sold for by going to Carvana.com, taking it to CarMax, taking it to the actual dealer brand and letting them make you an offer on your car. And this way, when you have those three offers, you can look at the average. And then when you actually go to do the deal wherever you're going to do it, you have that data to say, okay, this dealer's close, or they're not close at all. They're not giving me enough of my trade. They're actually really giving me a really good deal on my trade. They're giving me a really good deal on the price. I think I want to do business here. All those things are going to come back and help you move forward with who you may want to purchase your vehicle from. Also, another thing you want to keep into consideration is you want to go out and visit your bank or your credit union, get pre-approved or get pre-approved online. So at least as a backup, this is the best rate that I can get. And then you can let the dealer offer whatever rate they have available. Maybe they have a special rate from the manufacturer that's much better than what you already got. So you want to keep that on hand too. Also, do a little bit of research on the related F&I products that you might be interested in. Do you want to purchase a service contract or gap insurance or paint protection, an alarm system, whatever it is? Maybe you don't want to purchase that stuff, but the best way for you to find that out is by doing general research before you get to the dealership. Now, the other piece of information that can help you in this situation is understanding that the dealers have a quota clock. So a quota clock just basically means that if you look at how a dealership normally, performs in the month of January to February, those months are slower. People already came in the year prior and kind of bought everything up at the end of the year. They had the blowout sale. That's like one of the busiest times between December 25th and January 1st. They actually December 31st when they sell the most cars, because those cars need to go away, and the dealership will do whatever to get those cars to go away, because you don't want to carry a 2026 model obviously into 2027, because everyone's going to want a heavy discount. So you want to do whatever you can to get that car to move. Also, end of the month, last 3 to 5 days before any month ends, that's a great time to go to a dealership and work out a deal, because they're pretty motivated. They have a quota that they have to hit by the factory, by their own upper management staff, you know, we want to end with this many cars at the end of the month, that's a great time to go. Midweek is a good time to go, because when you're going midweek versus going on the weekend, they have a lot of times a full dealership, you know, full of other customers that are offering deals left and right. But to actually get someone to show up at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, it's not as easy as you can get, you know, people showing up at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So that's a great time to go, is midweek. Also, end of a quarter. So like at the end of March and the end of, you know, I can't think of all my quarters right now, but like, you know, July, or is it July or June? I think it's June, September, stuff like that. They have to have a certain amount of cars every quarter to make sure that they meet the manufacturer's quotas. So they're even more motivated. So when you do the end of March plus is, you know, the end of the month at the same time, that pressure is compounded on the dealer to really entertain the deal that you're offering to them. So that's something else to think about. Now, if you would like more information about anything that we discussed today, or just buying a car in general, just more information on that subject alone, I put together a free guide. I left a link in the description. It's called the 7 Insider Secrets That Dealers Don't Want You to Know About. Click that link. It's free of charge and doesn't cost you anything at all. It just will give you more information on everything we've talked about and just buying a car in general. Now, if you would like more information on what you can expect as far as the pressure tactics and things that might come up going to the finance office, I'm going to cover that in a video that's here on screen. Check that out and I'll see you there.